Now you can also combine a jump and view specs into a link. For example, let's link to item 7, and when it gets you there, we want to have all lines and levels showing, blank lines on, and numbers on. And let's use the anchor phrase, my first link. Okay. Now let's switch to a non-browser window where I can paste it in. Let's go ahead and put it here and paste. Now what you see here is a typical augment link. In an augment, we typically do not have the link hidden. It's usually shown, just like a footnote might be shown, or a literary reference in parentheses. So the typical format in an augment link is the file name, and because all file the file formats are all augment, so there's no need for a file extension. And item 7, and then the colon indicates what the view specs, which we have WYM. So let's go ahead and jump and see where it takes us. And there we are. Now I'm using my shortcut keys. Go back. And let's see what else we can do with this link. Let's have it go to item 1 instead of 7. And when it gets there, let's have it give an outline view plus 1 level. And let's take those blank lines out. So there we go. Keep the numbers on, and let's try it. And voila. Go back again. Okay, now we're going to take this to one more level of excitement. We're going to combine jumping, view control, filtering with create link. And how does that work? Okay, we're going to the authorship paper. Let's have it go to item 8 this time. And let's have it show all lines and levels and blank lines, and I'm going to add turn on a filter. Now what filter? Let's have it search for the word architecture, which when a filter is inserted in a link, we put it inside of quotes, inside of square brackets. That's called a floating search. So let's give it a whirl. Now we'll jump on that link. Okay, here we are. And we'll switch back to our demo slide. And we've restored our file window to a Class 2 browser. Oops, not yet. Let's do that. Morph to Class 2. Sorry about that. And let's add one more level of detail. Good. And the link, since we're back in the browser, the link is highlighted as you would normally see it in a browser. In Turbo Augment, we don't bother with the highlighting because we don't see any reason for it to stand out for the expert user. So just by way of recap, what we've seen so far from the Class 2 browser was adding the jump capability, the view control, the filtering, and the create and paste link, which can incorporate all of those. And those are made possible by special attributes that are embedded in an Augment file. And you can refer to the footnotes if you want to learn a little bit more about those. Last but not least, here we have the Lookup button, which when I press it, nothing happens because it wasn't ever implemented, but let me tell you what it was supposed to do. Its purpose is to be hooked into any database of your choice: corporate databases, departmental, personnel, project databases, whatever the user normally would be looking up. Glossary terms, regulatory information, looking up information in the wiki, and that sort of thing. So it'd be a customizable, it's intended to be a customizable button, which we think would be important for any browser to have. I'm going to collapse my view with one less level of detail here and move on to the next item, shared screen teleconferencing. This was not implemented in the browser for reasons of resource reasons, but we think that it should be included for any level of user, from beginner all the way up to turbo user. Now, it does work in Augment, but we just didn't hook it into the browser. But let me tell you just briefly what it does. The idea is that you would have a button called Shared Screen, and when you click it, it would allow you to connect to the coworkers of your choice. Now, once you're connected, one of you is the shower and the other are the viewers. And so say I'm the shower and everybody can see what I'm doing on my window. I'm browsing, I'm setting view specs, I'm jumping around and looking at documents, I'm taking meeting notes and so forth. And then at any time I can pass controls to another user so that now they have control over this window and they have control over the functions and they're going to drive it. So in any given meeting you could pass the controls around to 5 different people, and it's very powerful. Besides meeting facilitation, it can be used for coaching sessions, mentoring, technical support, where they can connect to my screen and I can show them what problem I'm having and then pass them the controls and they can show me my way out and show me some new things besides. So very quickly we can increase the proficiency of the people working in our organization as well as the collective IQ in our collaborations. And there's more information on that in your footnotes there. Again, the functionality that you've just seen for the Class 2 browser as well as the Class 1 browser is ubiquitous across the entire knowledge domain inside of Augment. And with an open hyperdocument system standards, you would have that standard throughout your knowledge domain. Whether it's your documents, inside your email, your software, you can create links into any line of code, into any email, into any part of your project management file system, as well as on-the-fly view control and precision browsing throughout your entire information system. And one final note, everything you've seen me demo so far has been implemented in the Hyperscope. So you can find that at bootstrap.org in the project section, and you can see a little demo of that and get some hands-on test drive yourself and see how it works. It's implemented a little bit differently. The user interface is slightly different, lots of improvements, but it's basically the same functionality. And that's it for the Class 2 browser. Thank you very much.